I hope you were lucky enough to experience the eclipse. I'm almost 59 and it was my first time ever. And I painted a couple of eclipse-inspired paintings, but I wanted to do one with you. I know one of you, Diane, who's in Vermont like me, though we only met once, I think, maybe a couple of times. Anyway, she took amazing pictures and she's been posting amazing watercolors of it. And I thought I would do one with you. I took out these dots that I haven't been using. I'm really trying to use the things I have because I'm not doing such a good job of it. Here I have some of my natural blues, some black. This is a Yin Min Blue second. I have some sparkles. We'll see. But first, I want to do a little refresher about the method I'm planning to use here, and that is lifting. And we've done it before with a moon and a coin wrapped with, these are those fake Primatech paints. Kyanite. I mean, kyanite is barely visible. Turquoise is so light. So these are gorgeous colors. They're just not what they claim to be. Anyways, it's a really fun way to depict the moon, the full moon, and that is you wrap a round object, and the size, it's up to you and depends also on the size that you want, the size of your painting, and make sure that it's kind of the size that you want it to be. So we'll start with the full moon because it's more straightforward. I'm mixing a lot of different darks, purples, and blues because it's a more interesting thing. So here I have is this €2? Yeah, €2 because it's a little bit bigger. And a Kleenex, and while it's wet, try to remove those sharp angles as much as you can. While it's wet, I press this, and this effectively lifts much of the paint. And then I could put some sparkling paint in there if I want. It's a beautiful, simple way of expressing a full moon. And then when it's dry down here, I could do trees or, well, we'll see if it dries. But basically, this is the point. Lifting with a round object covered in a Kleenex, which you can then use for something else. Probably not to blow your nose, but something. Now, let me try and do something bigger with the idea of painting the eclipse. This paper is a little finicky, but given that I'm doing a variegated wash, that shouldn't matter so much. I've never tried this before, but I'm going to try and use, isn't this beautiful? I actually brought them back from Italy. It was filled with a dessert that was based on buffalo milk. That's why there's this buffalo here. And it was a pistachio dessert. It was fabulous. So now I have a much bigger piece to fill. So I gotta make sure that it stays wet as I fill it. It finally gives me a chance to finish up some of this. I hate to throw them out, but it's hard to get all of that paint out of the... I shouldn't do this. Don't do this. This is a waste to mix it like that. But honestly, I'm kind of mad at Daniel Smith, so... No, not really, but I'm just... the dots are too small to get the right amount, and I need to get it before before the paint dries, you know. I should keep this for future reference. Anyways, if you do something this big, it's probably not so good to have dots. Just use half pans. I'm just trying to use the same as I did in the smaller painting. So let's say that this is the eclipse, and I want to do a total eclipse, because honestly, I mean, I've seen partial eclipse before, but the total eclipse is an entirely different business. You don't need, even if you don't know about it, you would know about it. You know, the partial eclipse, you got to look for it and get glasses. When it's total, you can take off your glasses, but even if you don't have glasses, it's just amazing because it gets dark. It gets night. I mean, not pitch black, but like it would be if there was a full moon, say, you know. So light for night, but night, certainly not day. So let's see if this works, because there is a circle of light around the sun, but then the inside is dark because the moon is covering it. That's why I thought this might work. If it doesn't work, we'll figure something else out. It does work. I mean, you could lift it manually, but this is more fun, right? And then you have something to play with. Now the creative part begins. Well, it's all creative, of course. But you could make this darker in here. You know, you could accentuate the contrast between the outside and the inside. Definitely, this is a good time for sparkles. I mean, if the sun doesn't deserve sparkles, who does? I'm not a sparkle paint person, but sometimes you need sparkles. Look at this. This is a color. It's a mica that has a changing undertone of blue. I'm adding some water. The painting that I sold, I was very excited because I sold it to somebody I don't even know. At this point, most of my buyers are friends. Not because they were originally friends who bought, but it's because I've known them for so long as buyers that we've known each other. Many of you know that. Anyways, that one, even though it's simple and it's just sky, well, first of all, I recommend you use granulating paint because the effects will be more interesting. And here, as you see, I am encouraging blooms. That it's an idea that I just had now. You'll just, there's something about a simple sky that, and working without a, I'm working out of a memory of the eclipse, not out of a reference photo or anything like that. And that really encourages experimentation because I don't really have a picture available to anyone else. I just want it all to be fluid, and when I was seeing the partial stages through the glasses, it looked like a black sky and an orange sun. But then when the eclipse is total, this inner part of the sun is black, as is the sky around it, but there is a circle of light, and that's what I'm trying to express here. Now this is all very cool, as in cool colors. I mean, it's cool as in cool, but it's also cool colors. And I would like to put some gold there. I don't know how it's gonna go over. Could make everything green, so I'll start very small. No, it's not. All right, good. So this is a gold, more gold mica. I don't remember the name we gave it, but this is from the palette that I did with Kateri, the Madreperla palette. See the granulation? Lifting some of the extra paint here. So really that circle with the cup and the lifting, it's not absolutely necessary, but kind of fun. I want to lean into some more black, especially where I'm far from the sun. And for contrast, maybe put a little bit in here too. Everything is still wet, so there's no risk of sharp edges, not sharp edges, what do you say? Those edges that can be tricky and annoying. And see how it's melting? I thought I'd have to mix it, but it's doing it all by itself. But the idea is that things get darker the farther from the sun you go. The sparkles are working nicely. A little bit more dark inside here. And rather than risk messing it up, I'm going to leave it as is. I don't know if it's going to require more color once it dries, but I encourage you to paint the eclipse, whether or not you've experienced it, but definitely if you've experienced it. Thank you.